Well, hello, Albertans, Canadians, and First Peoples. Truth all over Twitter. Danielle Smith, they cut her debates, leadership debates, where after 6 p.m. she goes off and she starts ranting yesterday about the net zero, climate change, sustainable development goals, all through the WEF. If people didn't believe it before, you've got to believe it now. It's all over Twitter. They took the piece out where she goes into climate change, her net zero targets, destruction of Alberta farmers, small businesses, and everybody through oil and natural gas. Two of Alberta's massive primary sector industries, important. Talking like that only comes from one place, the WEF, as I saw it with Dane Lloyd, federal CPC, sponsoring her in Stony Plain, Spruce Grove. I knew this was going to come about. I'm glad finally she slipped and she made a misstep. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, go on Twitter. She clearly goes through the net zero targets. That's Agenda 2030, 2050. It's prime and part and parcel for the WEF, and it's also destruction of farmers, destruction of any small businesses related to oil and natural gas industries. Read it, watch it. It's on Twitter. Clearly published. Somebody cut that down on Twitter. It's out there. It's being streamed. It's hitting massive levels. If you didn't know it before, or you didn't think that floor crosser, that nutcase, Danielle Smith is just an actor, a great radio host, practiced for many years, don't know what to tell you. Can tell you all, I never lie to Canadians, Albertans, or any First Peoples. Danielle Smith, live. Years ago, I watched her go absolutely crazy. I'd finished a shutdown in southern Alberta. I stood in the back and I watched her go, "This is my party, rah!" And then she went and floor crossed, even though nobody in the party, Wild Rose, wanted that to happen. She did that. She screamed, hollered. There's many people who know this truth. I was alive and well that day. I was there in the back. I watched it happen. I was shocked. I was floored. Brian Jean came in. He rebuilt Wild Rose. He stuck to his guns. That's the man for the job. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's going to do everything Albertans want. But he loves Alberta. He's never signed on to any federal privy council. He's always been about Alberta and specifically Fort McMurray. Do you think Brian Jean wants to shut down the oil fields or shut down the oil sands? No. Do you think he wants to go with innovation that can help make the industries better? Sure. We have more forest. He knows his whole riding completely, federally and provincially. And you know what? There's more forests in Alberta. More forests from north all the way down to between central and south. And Alberta gets tremendously smaller down south. You got the straight line on one side, but you come in on the mountains. And you know what, folks? It's one piece of not forested Alberta. The rest, massive boreal forest. So much boreal forest, in fact, we already are negative in our carbon footprint in this world. Now, if people want to talk about purchasing carbon credits from Alberta, maybe that's what we should do. In fact, all of Canada, a lot of provinces could sell that to large companies. When we start targeting Canada and we say Canada's a problem, unfortunately, folks, most of Canada, 87% of it, isn't available to anybody. So there's massive forests, massive forested lands. So much, in fact, We are net zero for our 38 million people. Now, there are crummy, corrupt, perverted politicians that get to take that lands and make all the money off it and hand you all the bills. Now, do they make a carbon footprint? Sure they do. Sure they do. Maybe we should start looking at the corrupt politicians and stop beating down the people of Canada. Because it's wrong. Unless we're going to settle the claims with the First Peoples and divide up all this land for everybody for once and for all, we're not successful at anything. The proof is in the pudding. Share the video. Danielle Smith is busted. She's WEF. She's Sustainable Development Goals. She's Agenda 2030 and 2050. Now, if you want more of Justin Trudeau and the liar Pierre Poilievre, which was Harper before that, especially for Albertans. And you know, this is a time when I do stand up for the province of Alberta that's been greatly wronged. Stephen Harper destroyed Ralph Klein. Stephen Harper lied to every Albertan. For the benefit of the Laurentian elite in Ontario and Quebec, it's clearly proven in all the double deals he made with Bloc. If anyone doesn't believe this, Stephen Harper broke all records for the amount of debt Canada took on. In fact, you can add up Pierre Elliott Trudeau and every prime minister before Stephen Harper, roll them up into one debt ball and put that in Stephen Harper's lap, and he'll say, yeah, that's my debt. I'm an economist. That's what he did. There is nothing conservative about the massive bailouts he did. Nothing conservative about it at all. It was placed on Joe Jane taxpayer, all his bullshit, for the benefit of supporting Quebec and Ontario to win Prime Minister. And people say, he had to win Prime Minister. When do we say somebody has to care about the working Joe Janes of all of Canada? That's business and working class alike, because they're the real losers here. Now, we can look global, giant mega corporations seem to be the wave of the future at absolutely the expense of everybody else, because they're the lion's share of the taxes. The lion's share that can't even support the debts and provincial deficits that continue to accrue. Never mind the federal. We're a loser's gambit. Anyone telling you that anything we're doing is sustainable is unsustainable. UN unsustainable. See the trick here? It's like Aboriginal. And for the lunatics out there saying there was no genocide, Aboriginal. It means just like abscess, like an abscessed tooth, or abstract, not normal or not of original human being. Do you get it? There's something wrong with people's thinking. Words do matter and definitions do matter. It's why we all get screwed over by politicians, because they're great wordsmiths and they trick you into defining you as a slave or you as a savage. And anyone outside of that or saying it's not true is just another liar of propaganda. I hate to say it, folks. If you believe in the Western Standard, you're getting fisted. You're getting fisted. Clearly, Danielle Smith, net zero goals. If anyone hasn't told you yet, that's UN Sustainable Development. That's WEF. That's the Commonwealth Charter. And you'll find they're all lovers of the federal CPC, which is in love with centralized Canada. That is wrong. It's not even constitutional. And Danielle Smith's going to brag about Section 92 to 95 and her Sovereignty Act that she'll never get legally passed because it's unconstitutional. Constitutionalism, a provincial constitutional act going through Section 92 and all the way to 95 with the overlaps are important to all of you and all the First Peoples. Now that could be done, and that could transform all of Canada, decentralizing Canada, and also, folks, also giving all the real true civil and human rights to every Canadian. You can start just with one province and it will spread like wildfire. Think about property rights. Think about settling the claims. Think about all the Crown land. You do that. You do that, folks, and you can do all of Canada. All of them will follow suit. Until we talk about these truths, until people start sharing and start busting the liars, the lowlifes, the crummy crap politicians, crummy crap media, because they're everywhere. Alt-right, alt-left, because there's no such thing, folks. It's just you, the people, and the up and down scale. Canada has been moving forever and a day up the scale. How they do that is they divide you left and right and all the way in between. And they love that division because then they can increase their autocracy, their rule up here over you. And there's all of you down here in Loserville under the master's thumb, press. And if you don't believe it, in the history of all constitutional monarchies, you will end up like your Great Britain of the past. A few own all the land, lords, barons, the list goes on and on of all the names, the royalty of the king signs off, your prime minister, and you will have all your lords and barons over the land, and all of you will rent it, work on it. Sound familiar? You'll own nothing and be happy? I don't think so. It's why all of our ancestors got on boats, starving, poor, with nothing, sailed across the ocean to the New World for the promise of something better. Now the United States of America, the people of the U.S. said, nuh-uh, we're going independent of that British Empire that would tax without representation, that would slowly erode the people of America and turn them into, again, slaves on the Lord and Baron's lands. They revolted. We don't have to revolt. All we have to do is embrace provincial constitutionalism, at least at the first step, minor step, that's clearly outlined in your Canadian Constitution since 1867. The crummy Indian Act, and much, much more that would erode all of that, and every loser, lying politician. Danielle Smith is just another corrupt, word-smithing, lying, losing politician. She's with Jason Kenney all the way up to Pierre Poilievre. That's the truth, folks. Liars, degenerates, creeps, and perverts. No different than the very sick. Worse than that, liberals. I don't like the idea of the worst pile of shit. I don't know why Canadians think the government's ever going to save you. Government is supposed to be there to serve you, not rule over you as a divine God. And these crazy Canadians and First Peoples who get out there bawling, singing, "Oh Canada, oh I love this, I love that." What do you love? Do you love working every day and owning nothing? Do you like the idea of being taxed without representation? Do you like the idea that your kids' lives are going to be shittier than yours? Do you like that? Because that's the cycle. Anyone, fifth, sixth generation will tell you this. Besides the first people off the boat, they can say, my ancestors worked hard. Yeah, so did mine. But you know what? They had a tremendous amount of land. And every generation, less. And you watch farmers get eroded away. You watch businesses get eroded away, at least in the small businesses. You watch it. You watch all of it. There's going to be a Canada where the wealthy elite own all the land, and they're privy to that government, whether it's liberal, conservative, NDP, block, green, you pick it, it won't matter. It's all crown. Crown slavery, the same slavery most of you, almost all of you, your ancestors left their lands to come here. You can look. You can look, it's the truth. All the politicians who embrace this system from all over the world, you'll find they're all former colonials, generally who got fixed, and then they're crusty, like Jagmeet Singh. He loved the crown. India didn't want nothing to do with him and his family because they embraced something that was removed constitutionally as slavery. And he ran here with embracing the crown. Canadians seem to love that. It's wrong. I don't know what's going to happen for UCP. If they vote Danielle Smith, you might as well say, hey, we voted for Justin Trudeau. Paint it blue, call it Pierre Poilievre. It's Justin Trudeau. It's all Justin Trudeau. If you keep electing people loyal to the WEF, loyal to net zero, loyal to Agenda 2030, 2050, all foreign interests, all foreign billionaires who aren't even investing in your country, they're raping out of your country. They don't even really pay taxes. And in Canada, you can run away with the money all over the world in offshore accounts, and there's nothing anyone's going to do about it. US, they don't allow that. But Canada, it's celebrated. That's first class. That's the crown. Well done. Whip those slaves. Beat those savages down. Take. Hand them the bills. There will be no net zero. You know why, folks? Canada, including Alberta, even Alberta in its own borders with its massive boreal forest, is net zero already. In fact, it's below. It's negative. Negative. Vladimir Putin already did all these tests just for Russia, who's 4 times worse than our little old Canada. And you know what? They're negative. They sell carbon credits for their boreal forests. Canada's the exact same thing as the Russian Federation. And your politicians tell you we have to get to net zero, even though we're negative worldwide. We should be forcing the countries who don't have a natural carbon capture to prove where they're going to change, if we're going to do that. But they don't want that, folks. They want to rape and rob Canadians. It's a British Commonwealth-led initiative so that the British Empire can reign supreme over all its colonial jewels. Did you know that? Check out the money flow. You'll find it goes back to the Bank of England, almost all of it. UN Sustainable Development, the Green New Deal that Joe Biden is pushing for America, is all from the United Kingdom. It's written right there. It's right there in the Commonwealth Charter 2012. Forced, mandated, absolutely applied on 53 nations. Dirty Justin Trudeau and filthy Stephen Harper, those 2 prime ministers, did you all in. Liberal, conservative, alt-right, alt-left, it's all bullshit. There is one crown. 2 parties made a deal a long time ago to keep the power to fuck all of you over. 1952. If you don't believe it, there's never been a Governor General since 1952 from the UK. All Governor Generals of Canada, a check and balance, were all from the UK royally. Since that day, they're all appointed by Prime Minister, meaning Prime Minister has put the crown on his or her own head, every single one since that date. Doesn't matter what party it is. Look at every lieutenant governor, 1952, Before 1952, all lieutenant governors are of the UK and of a royal descent. Since that day forward, all lieutenant governors and commissioners, of the territories have absolutely all been appointed by Governor General, who is sworn appointed by Prime Minister, meaning it's Prime Minister's shortlist. Prime Minister has ultimate crown power, has a completely sworn appointed Senate, not elected, not for any of you, for the crown. Lifetime Senate, lifetime. Crown appointed until Prime Minister's end. New Prime Minister picks their own crown. Never taught to you in school. You're never to know about it. Ultimate autocratic power. It makes Vladimir Putin look like a little baby. A little teeny little baby. Their power is massively more than Vladimir Putin's. Crown has always been awful. At least Vladimir Putin is honest in his one-party system. At least Vladimir Putin in the Russian Federation gives absolutely federalism to each and every 84 regions. Not in Canada. You have Upper and Lower Canada. That's it. Everybody else fills the center. A fake federalism. We are worse than the Russian Federation by a large margin. At least in their one-party system, they're honest about it. In Canada, we are a one-party system. We're a crown party system. We can play the game, we can pretend that we're some kind of democracy, but it's first, second, third-class savage Indian, and the only ones in every single party are the first class. There are 5 in each party. That's it. The rest of you are being played. Now there's people who want to gravitate to second class or hang on the tits of the first class. So they suck hole. They take it like this. But the reality is, folks, it's only first class, and all of you, the third and savage Indian. That's it. The bulk of everybody else. Paying for liars, socialists, cheats. It's all over the world. You have a choice to make it end. You share this. It's real. It's credible. It's verifiable. It's all over Twitter now. She can't take the words out of her mouth. Net zero. It's all sustainable development goals. Agenda 2030, 2050 hits the WEF, and worse for everybody who doesn't know, since 2012, it's the Commonwealth Charter, forced against your will on all countries of the Commonwealth that have taken the crown. Canada took the crown. Again, if you don't know, since 1952, Canada took the crown. So they give international narrative to UK so that UK doesn't rat Canadian politicians out, not only to the whole world, but to all of you, the third class, and absolutely all the First Peoples, the savage Indian, legally defined. Not my words. None of this is my words. This is the legal definitions in Canada, alive and well today for all of you. It's written, articulated well in your Constitutional Act. It's backed up in the Supreme Court of Canada, which is as strong as the Constitution itself, and another way to get an amendment. That's my video. Share. Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Bye now.